Hello. Today I'm going to show you some makeup that I did as a costume years ago in quite possibly my most last minute costume. I did it just an hour before deciding to actually leave the house and go to a Halloween party. What you're seeing me do here is apply a light layer of foundation. I've already prepped my skin with some moisturizer, and this is the NYX Total Control Cover Drop foundation. That super liquid foundation that comes with a little dropper. And this is, I think, a shade called Alabaster. It's one of the lightest shades, and it's quite light on me, which is why I chose it. Because this kind of pop art look needs to be as two-dimensional as possible. So this is a situation where it's okay if your foundation is a bit flat. I'm now going in with two shades of Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, one in Fair Neutral and the other in Light Sand, because one is too dark and one is too light. So I'm mixing them together to just flatten out my face a bit more and make the eye all one color and get it ready for all the different eyeliner we're going to put on. I'm then going to set all of that using the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder and just dabbing that on with my sponge. So when I did this costume, I watched one of the many YouTube tutorials on how to do this look, but I used a different reference picture. Here's the one that I used from the Lichtenstein painting. The majority of other tutorials like this will feature the image of the blonde woman that's crying and really sad, but I went for this one because I had a plastic phone and I thought I could figure out a way to get the speech bubble happening and make it more of a full costume. So now I'm going in and doing my eyebrows, and I'm taking an angled brush with some MAC gel eyeliner. This is Blacktrack, and covering my eyebrows as they naturally are shaped, and then working really at the tip of the eyebrow to give it a little bit of a different shape, so it's like a furrowed brow, which you'll see in the reference photo. The gel eyeliner works best because it'll actually cover up the hairs and get really deep in there, whereas as you see here, I'm starting to draw some of the shapes on my face using a felt tip liner because I needed something a little bit more flexible to work with and very thin. So I'm referring back to my reference photo as many times as it takes, and there are many times, I just edited them out, to see exactly where these black lines need to go to give that more 3D effect within this 2D image. So you can follow along with what I'm doing, but also definitely download a copy of the photo yourself that you want to work off of and go from there. I'm now taking that same eyeliner along my jawline, and I'm going to be drawing on my exact face shape. As I said, there's lots of pop art makeup tutorials you can watch. To learn, I used Emma Pickles videos. Claire Dims are very good as well as Jordan Hans. She's kind of the queen of this. So you can check them out. Okay, going in here with my new cheekbones, which was a little nerve-wracking to draw in, but I'm just drawing one and then trying to match the other on the other side, and continuing around my hairline. Essentially, all of the black lines you're putting in are the contours of the face. So the areas that you would normally contour, that's where those black lines are going to go. I'm filling in the hairline here with some more brush strokes, which almost gives it more of an illustrated effect rather than just straight up pop art. You know, it's a cartoon drawing of someone, but this gives an illustrated version of my own face. The next step, and this is a very important part, are the eyes. So what we're going to be doing is pretending that my eye is completely blank and white, and I'm drawing on brand new lashes, lash line, crease, everything. So starting with the bottom lash line and drawing on individual lashes at the outer corner there. You might have noticed I've switched my eyeliner again. This one is by Estee Lauder, and I chose this because I still wanted a felt tip that was quite thin, but I needed something a bit more stiff. That Maybelline one had a lot of flex in it, like a paintbrush, but for these small details I need something a bit more stiff. I actually really loved doing eyeliner like this in high school. Another last minute Halloween costume of mine was I went as Veronica from Betty and Veronica. I was really into Archie comics when I was a kid, and so when I think about doing a comic book look, that's what I think about. And I was always really taken with how Betty and Veronica's eyelashes were just these huge, like 3 individual lashes, but really huge cat eyes on the side of their eyes. So I would try and recreate this eyeliner as much as possible, drawing not just one wing, but multiple wings of eyeliner. And I've switched again to my 4th black eyeliner, and I think my last in this tutorial. This is a Physicians Formula brush tip, and you don't have to use 4 types of eyeliner, but I'm soft and I couldn't do it all with just a gel eyeliner. Some people can, and that's very impressive. But yeah, so I'm continuing on my eyes, just lining the entire top lid to connect to those winged out lashes that we added at the outer corners. So I mentioned that I did wear this out one year for Halloween, and I had literally no intention of leaving the house and going out. But I started to think, like, oh, you know, someone invited me to a party and I'd like to see those folks, but I don't have a costume. So I just went on YouTube and put this together. And I'm so glad I did, because I ended up going to that party and a big group of my friends had done a group costume as characters from the TV show Archer. So I didn't want to be the lame person with absolutely nothing in terms of costume, so it worked out well. I'll include a photo here from my Instagram. Okay, and back to what I'm doing here, which is a tricky part, and it's drawing in the new crease. If you want, you can kind of tell on my other eye, I sketched it out a bit first with a little bit of eyeshadow, just to know where I was going with that liquid liner. So you can see I've traced out what I'd like to see, because it's important that you can see this crease with your eye open as well. So for me, it's above my natural crease line. So just kind of look straight into a mirror and map out where your new crease would be. And from here on, you know, it gets a lot more simple. This is definitely the most difficult part. Oh, I almost forgot my nose. I do need a line going down my nose. And now I'm just curling my eyelashes to get them ready for a coat of mascara. You could also definitely put on false eyelashes for this look, but I opted not to, just to keep it really two-dimensional. So the last step before we put all those annoying dots on our face is the lips. And Jordan Hans actually has an entire tutorial just devoted to pop art lips, which I definitely recommend watching before trying to do them. But I'm starting off with a NYX liquid lipstick all over my lips. I thought this was a pretty good match to the photo, but a good pinky nude will do. This is from their lip lingerie line and has a ridiculous name like Bedroom Flirt. But liquid lipsticks are great for this look. Oh, make sure that your mole doesn't have too much foundation on it. That's an important tip. So now I'm going in and drawing the shape of the lip that I kind of interpret in the photo. And that includes having some black eyeliner through the very center of your lips. So I'm literally painting it inside my mouth and defining that that line around my Cupid's bow. And once it's sufficiently black inside the mouth, I'm going to go around the mouth with that same liner. Really take your time doing this and go slowly, let your brush do the work. Now when it comes to the bottom lip, I'm going to kind of underdraw my lips a little bit, and that's because my bottom lip is large and kind of droops down, but you want to see the black line straight on so that it has that two-dimensional effect. So you can see I'm kind of drawing a thicker line of black on the bottom, checking underneath to make sure that what you're seeing is black all around the outside. You want to be careful to really let the liner dry before you move around or press your lips together. So hold your mouth open as long as you can, keep them dry, and you know, maybe draw your mole black to go with the look anyways. Okay, here we go. This is going to take forever, but you can do it. I'm taking a red lip pencil and pressing it gently against my skin, twisting and pulling up to create these little red dots. I'm doing them vertically in lines to try and keep them as symmetrical as possible. And now I'm going to piece out because I can't film this. It took forever. Take your time. Bye. Yes, we did it. It took forever. And I'm going to show you here just how much of that pencil I used, and I had to keep sharpening it over and over and over again. But anyways, we've got our wig cap on. Wig cap. And I'm going to put on my wig and begin to move it around and style it and get it to where it needs to be. The longest parts of this wig are pinned up at the back, but I am going to pin it a bit more around my face to give me that bob look that the lovely woman has in the photo. Now the other important aspect of this is to create these black lines in your hair. So this is what gives it, again, the illustrated comic book pop art Lichtenstein look. So it's just showing the different strands of hair, trying to give movement to the hair. So I used an eyeliner, but then found that this worked better. So I took a toothbrush and sprayed some black hairspray, just, you know, cheap Halloween hairspray on it, and ran it down the hairs. And that worked, I think, a lot better to give us that 2D look. The last two components of the costume are my speech bubble, which I just drew out on some paper and attached a clip on the back, a hair clip, so it would just easily clip into my hair. And you can see I've got my phone receiver, and I'm looking a little bit distressed and saying, oh, all right, you know, men. Yeah, so we've come to the end. I hope you enjoyed this. Trying to hold still and give you the full effect. And I was very careful to look at the woman's hands as she held the phone to try to get it just right. But yeah, it's a pretty easy costume, and people will get it. I have this problem of doing Halloween costumes nobody gets, and then I have to explain them. But this is just such a great visual look that I think it'll be very, very effective. Now the first time I wore this costume, you'll notice I didn't have a wig on because I just didn't have one. So I'll show you, you can just do this with your own natural hair. And so I'm just taking my hair down and pulling it back and trying to make it look short, like a little bob. If I was to do this again, I would actually probably set my hair in some rollers so that it has more of a wave and has that vintage feel. But yeah, this works too, and if I didn't want to have to wash my hair, I would have put some of those black streaks through my hair as well. But there, the clip goes back on, and I think it works pretty well even without the wig. But I had a red wig and it matched the art. So there you have it. Now as we end this video, as I mentioned earlier, there's millions of these types of tutorials on YouTube, and so I appreciate that you've chosen to watch mine, and I hope that you enjoy. And if you try out this costume, let me know. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vita Carlino and at Vita_Carlino. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Click.